how do you identify that? Is that something that you're doing at the sort of start of the week and you go, here's what I'm going to do, I'm going to scribble it up on my whiteboard, or how do you do that?
No, I just have my whiteboard's like a dashboard of what's important. Like, so I have a couple of things on there that remind me what I'm supposed to do. So, like my core things, so that if I sort of forget, and I don't want to commit stuff to memory because then it's using up brain capacity. So I just let it all go. So I'll have up there the core things that I'm doing in my business right now, and then on the other whiteboard is, like what are the actual tasks that have to be done, and I'll just try and get rid of them as quickly as I possibly can. Just keeping up with the schedule of whatever I commit myself to. So I've always got something coming up, and I'll usually just produce it just in time, so that it's fresh and I can attack it once and get it off my plate. I'm not one to sort of pre-plan something for 3 weeks. There's just way too much flexibility there. I'm more likely to do it 3 days before, just do it, complete it, finish it, and get it off the production line and move on to the next thing.
Yeah. And you're sort of working from home, and because you've got the outsourcers, are you dealing directly with your outsourcers, or have you got sort of someone that you work with who manages your outsourcers, or how are you?
Yeah, I've got like
that?
a primary outsourcer who I've encouraged to grow the business underneath my level. So I don't see or deal with many of the people who are contributing to my stuff. I just have someone in the middle.
Very cool.
Just more or less, I've outsourced management is almost the way that I would describe that.
And learning those sort of things, because that's the sort of thing that will take someone's business to the next level. Like, I mean, you can sit and do internet marketing.
No doubt. I'm used to hiring and training and delegating and supervising. So it comes quite naturally for me to keep tabs on where people are up to. I used to have 72 employees, so you always had to know what people are up to. So if you put projects out there, I just have in the back of my mind, well, I probably should be getting this thing back soon, and then usually it'll just arrive. Otherwise, I could just pop off an email and say, hey, just remembered this, where are we up to? And it'll be almost finished or whatever. So, yeah, I think there's definitely an element to that, and that's probably where a lot of people go wrong, is they're trying to do everything for free, and they're not skilled with business. They're just learning internet marketing as a few tactics strung together.
Yeah, which I can see, especially people really, I find, get caught up in, especially when it comes to SEO and promoting that sort of stuff, because there's so many different things, and I suppose Rich Sheffrin outlined this the best when he first came out with that internet marketing manifesto and showed you in the middle surrounded by all of these different tasks that need to be completed, and then there's no chance in hell that you'd be able to get it all done if you tried to do it yourself. And SEO particularly, you can get caught up in all of these different techniques and tactics and things like that, really breaking it down and coming up with that system and then having a replicatable system. I think that's why I was trying to really dig in deep as to that system that you've created, which I suppose, just to make sure I've got it really quite clear, you've got your initial things that happen for promotion when you get some content generated, and then that's a system that'll just happen. And then following that as well, if you go, yep, this is something that I really want to promote, then you've got those extra methods. And those extra methods, things like your press releases, forums, and videos, is that something that you're personally doing?
Sometimes I will, because I sort of enjoy that stuff, and I know that I can engineer things to be a combination of search engine optimization and copy. So, I'm going for that call to action. So it's okay. Like, I don't have video guy come around and film videos or anything. I just put up a flip camera on a tripod and send out something rough or make a little video. And it's okay to do that. I think one of the key things that people have to realize is they don't have to do everything. Just the core things that are going to work well for them will get them most of the results. So in my case, I know that I get most of my result from having a good piece of content on a nice WordPress blog that builds my list, and I feed it from various syndication sources and some RSS feeds and backlinks and stuff that they're automatically happening, and you can even auto bookmark if you want. So I know that's the core thing, and then the rest of the stuff's going to add another 10 or 20 or 30% on top. So the question then is, do you keep adding core things, or do you keep trying to do everything all the time? And you don't have to do everything all the time, so don't feel pressured or stressed out if you can't do everything that you know you're supposed to do. I probably do a fraction of what I know about, but it's enough to get by.
Yeah. Which I had another question here I've been asking some of the other guys. Interested to find out, of the different methods and ways for driving traffic, and you're doing, monitoring your stats and that sort of thing. Keen to know where you see like the opportunity or the biggest opportunity for easy rankings. Like, how do you see something that, is coming on the horizon, because you're sort of in the thick of it, where you're like, this is what I'm spending and focusing a lot of time on?
Well, I think just more and more relevancy, more personalised, more localised, more multimedia. That's obvious that multimedia is big. I've been using image tricks and things to get rankings, video, and a lot of people ignore audio, but it's a big one. It's just super easy to get leveraged out there with audio, and so few people do it.
How are you doing that? Are you just splitting audio straight from your video, or?
Can do that. Quite often I'll just do an audio and then I'll blend it with a picture, and you turn that into a video so you can go the other way. Or you can literally just read a post and then podcast it. But it is great, you get that sticky feel about it for your website. You have people, a lot of social proof. They can see that it's been downloaded 1,000 times. That really does help bring in that credibility. And I think that people keep coming back. That's not going to hurt your search engine results. Google notices that you have people coming back and clicking around your site, more page views, staying on your site for longer, lower bounce rate. I'm sure all that stuff indirectly helps.
Yeah, I agree. With the audio, so are you just posting that then on your blog as for someone to interact with, or are you doing distribution of that as well?
I usually just give it away for free. Yeah, podcast it from my blog, and you can syndicate that as well if you want to submit it to some podcasting directories and get yourself some more links.
Yeah.
Google are paying, I think that's the big trend. They're going to pay more attention to different media other than just posts.
Yeah. I think, and you touched on video, and you mentioned video before. Video's working fantastically well. So I think coupling that with audio, we haven't done a great deal amount of audio, so definitely have to have a look into that.
I don't think many people do. I think they miss that. I've had over 10,000 podcasts downloaded off my blog. And the great thing is it's a Trojan horse. That sits on iTunes. It goes on every iPhone or iPod Shuffle. People are, you have access to your customer when they're in a pretty receptive environment. They're like driving along or walking along the road with headphones on. You have 100% access with no distractions.
Yeah. I think getting them on those multiple medias are definitely the way to go and hook them in. You do quite a lot of stuff, obviously, in the internet marketing niche, and I suppose we talked a lot about all the different things you're doing there. Have you sort of branched out much sort of into other niches as well?
I have. I think you mentioned the keyword, obvious.
Yeah.
It's, my internet marketing stuff is quite out in public, and then the non-internet marketing stuff is fairly well obscured.
And those sort of things, are you working with your real businesses? Like, is it? I'm trying to basically figure out if it's the same process that you're doing for your internet marketing.
It's exactly the same process. You could use exactly the same process. You might just want to consider using some different account names or pen names and things if you want to separate your business out. And for offline clients doing online SEO, it's exactly the same process. I tell them the same thing. They have to have hero content. They have to leverage it into multimedia. And I put them in the same system. Just it's all under their account, though, so no one's going to find that stuff. I just set up another replication of what I have. I use the same content people and everything.